If you told me 5 years ago I will be managing 18 apartments in Dubai while working, I'd say you are crazy. I started with one unit, no mentor, no big savings, just a dream to break the 9 to 5. Somehow, that one unit became 18. Hi, my name is Abigail, and today I will be sharing with you how I really started this business. 10 years ago, 2013, I arrived in Dubai as a sales assistant. And from there, I have realized that it's not actually an easy job. You have to work 3 shifts in a week. It's a good company though, but the desire of me of creating much more. One day, I got struck with an idea of calculating my time. Big savings, just a dream to break the 9 to 5. Somehow, that one unit became 18. Hi, my name is Abigail, and today I will be sharing with you how I really started this business. 10 years ago, 2013, I arrived in Dubai as a sales assistant. And from there, I have realized that it's not actually an easy job. You have to work 3 shifts in a week. It's a good company though, but the desire of me of creating much more. One day, I got struck with an idea of calculating my time. One day I got struck by just randomly calculating my time. I started from the day I woke up, the hours that I am allocating for the things that I'll be doing that day, and the hours that I will be needing for me to finish my work. And from there, I have seen how much time I do have for myself to spend on. And this was my aha moment. I just got obsessed with thinking, how will I be able to change the reality of where I'm at? Of how will I be able to change the reality of getting out from the 9 to 5 loop? So I made a plan of living on a bed space to actually save money during my first early years. And from there, I have seen a problem of how the people are managing their apartment. I took up a loan, I talked out my dad, and to be honest, I had no idea of what I was doing. I had a talk with a friend who was having an actual business like this. And she just told me that you can do it. It's easy. So from there, I just asked her multiple questions like how much is the deposits? How much is the total cost for your capital? And to be honest, if I will be going back, I never asked her about the return of investment. How soon will I get my money back? This was something that I have never realized until now. That was never my goal at first. I was thinking how to get my own flat enabled for me to have a peace of mind. So I launched my first business. So after I got the money, I took up my loan and got the capital from my dad. And I tried to search an apartment that I can actually start. This is not easy because finding a location and somehow a really good apartment to work with your dream and with what you want is not easy to find in Dubai. So I had to research. So I had to walk in every part of Al Riga, enable for me to find the apartment where I will be doing that business. And I can still remember the first building that I had stepped on. The time that I had opened the door, the feeling of relief, the energy and the vibe of that apartment is just so different. One of my friends had told me, start with this apartment. From here, you will grow. And I wasn't thinking about so much crazy things about it, but the feeling of, yes, this is the apartment that I'm taking was a good signal. Being intuitive in every decision that I make is very important on the aspects. I had to call a lot of people enabled for me to get a real, honest person who will be working with me with what I want. Choosing the right people is essential, enable for you to make it into success. That person who will be doing your apartment, who will be renovating your apartment. Getting my first apartment wasn't easy, and building that one flat is not easy because at that time I was working with one guy who didn't continue the work that I was asking to do. I given him a capital, I give him money, enable for him to finish the work, and he just actually leave me in the middle hanging. And this time I was still working 9 to 5 while coordinating with this different type of people. So it's really not easy. I remember I'm working at 7 a.m. So I need to wake up at 5 a.m. enable for me to get to work. But I still need to go to that business, enable for me to see the people and see what's happening and monitor the things that they are doing. So it's not an easy road if other people just see it like just to get an apartment. Trusted people are important when you're building a business. So after I get my first apartment, there was no shopping free. I was happy that I was able to get a free rent for myself. So if I am renting before as like 1,000 dirhams, I can rent half room with a balcony somehow, but with a free cost because my tenants are paying for that rent, which is pretty cool. I mean, I have never thought that I'll be able to make that work, but it did somehow. So after I furnished that apartment, the next step was marketing. I had to market that apartment in different social media. Before I start all of this business, I check first the Facebook. How many competitors would I be facing when I started this business? So I've seen a lot of people who have been posting, who have been offering the same concept, but something is missing. And that's where I jump in. Somehow the people who are posting their apartments in that area doesn't look good as much as personalized kind of feeling. It's all about showing off the apartment without a theme, without a vibe. So I had realized that there is a gap that I can actually improve. And in setting up your business, you always find the gap in the market. And that's your key, that's your point, enable for you to enter into that business. So there was no shopping fee. After I get my free rent, I remember that after 3 months, I get another apartment. That was just like an additional because if you will do the math, if I'm getting 2,000 free rent cost on that apartment for 3 months, it would only be like 6,000 if I'm saving that money. But what it adds to that, it's because while I was working, I'm getting commissions and I'm getting bonus. I had kept them aside, get another apartment after 3 months, get another apartment after 3 months. And I have just did this over and over again at that time. Yes, there's money involved. Yes, there's capital that I had to shell out from my pocket. But for me, it's okay because that second apartment, after I open it, I knew that that apartment will be my profit because I'm not living there. So I just repeat that process. Get another apartment, reinvest after 3 months. I'm saving all the money that I do have from my work. That's why this is so perfect if you're still working, because that work that you do have where you get your fixed salary, that will be a strong ground enable for you to run your business and to multiply your business ahead. At that time, I wasn't counting. But before I actually took my first apartment, I had a dream to create 25 apartments. Somehow, I believed that this number would let me retire from my 9 to 5 shift. If, let's say, roughly I'm earning 2,000 dirhams for each apartment, and I have 25 apartments, I will be able to be sure that that profit can save me, can actually make me retire from working from 9 to 5. But that didn't come true. So on the 6th apartment, I started hiring cleaners because it's not easy for me working 9 to 5, doing the marketing, because I'm doing the marketing, I don't get agents. The reason why is because I tend to wanting to know more the person who is going to live in our apartment, and that builds you a long-term relationship with them, and at the same time you build that referral flow once you get to know your client. And that's what we're doing on our business. So after that, I train people to do what I was doing. So I hired virtual assistant enabled to answer for me. And I just wanted to call out that this thing would never happen if I didn't take that first risk on my first apartment. It wasn't easy, but it's all worth it. And I'm speaking and I'm telling this story is because I wanted to reach out to a lot of people, expat or OFW, that's working in Dubai. You have a way to actually do this, but all it takes is that courage and you're brave to jump. If you've been thinking to start your first apartment here in Dubai, it could be Airbnb, it could be a long-term flat, it could be buying your apartment or investing just in Dubai. I have a link below. I built a free guide on how to start your first Airbnb, and I'll be putting that link below. And for November 1st, I am doing a small community to coach people for 4 weeks, 1 hour per week, to teach people how I was able to do this, turning my first apartment into 18 apartments. So I love to see everyone, to those people who are interested on doing this business as well, or coming in Dubai and thinking, how can I build my dream here? It's really possible, and you don't need millions to make it at start. You just need the bravery to start. So join us and let's make that first unit happen. Thank you and have